We got ourselves team 1 with Belly going out as an arms warrior. With in the back, we got ourselves Jellyfy, Copy Fitness, Enhancement Shaman, Enhancement as a red pala, and Lex as a very translucent see-through fire mage. Versus team 2 with Trados just by the candles, hanging out. Christina in the back. We got ourselves Dirks going first up versus Athaman, going in for the biggie damage with a bubble coming out for Atho, and Dirks looking to sprint out of there, maybe going for a reset of his own. Flashlight available for Athaman as he's trying to get himself a bit of a setup. Ashen Hollow should get Dirks out of stealth in the open, and that's going to be not a great place for Dirks to be. Hodge into Ashen Hollow. Athaman going for massive damage, and Dirks actually have to trinket out of this. Blind onto Dirks as Atha gets him out. Should be able to go for holy damage. No crit for Dirks. At least no 100% crit. Trying to see if he can counter damage back into Atha. Shadow strikes our flying, and Atha got himself plenty of self heals rolling. Evasion available for Dirks. Does hit him with a slow smoke, bombing himself in there. Blind available for Dirks is the only reset he has. Athaman has a bop, however, so blind doesn't even do anything. Does he go for a kidney shot? Athaman could maybe bop it, does bop it, as Dirks has nowhere to go. Only he has the self heals. If he can just survive with the self heals until the next kidney shot, I think that's all he could really do. As long as Athaman doesn't let him go anywhere. Shadow Step does break away, ponies up. Dirks looking for the reset desperately, doesn't get it, and Athaman just ponies it up out of there. With Unstoppable up next, and that team, we also got ourselves Ketem in the back as well. And you guys met Dirks. You guys met Dirks. Gonna be Unstoppable coming in. Big shield still holding for the Maldraxxus Covenant. And Athaman looking like he's actually just gonna go for a bit of a line of sight, hand of freedom available, and everything. Just gonna have to wait it out. Unstoppable with a lasso. Might have to go for a Hex into Athaman first. Break out that adaptation. Then go for lasso. Big old knockback for Atho. And he should be able to get himself a Stormkeeper up and running. Athaman does have a Shield of Vengeance, has himself Seraphim, so that should be quite a lot of survivability for him, as well as damage. Big zaps or Unstoppable. What was that? What were those zaps? Bro, that guy just popped off out of nowhere. Shamans. And next up is going to be Copfin, also another Shaman, but of an enhancement variety. Getting Ghost up onto Unstoppable, getting hit with a lasso. Not feeling that good from the lasso, but got himself plenty of self heals. What was that? That was Stormkeeper. That's really strong. Oh, Jesus. Didn't even give him a chance to press Shield of Vengeance, I think, or nothing. So it's going to be a big old knockback for Unstoppable as it looks at Copyfin. It's starting to get some damage in. Oh, grounding totem. How many lava bursts was that? Was that 4? It looked like 6. That was a lot of lava bursts. That was a lot of lava bursts into that grounding. How many just ground is Copyfin just a woody death and carnage just now? All those meatballs, dude. You won't be able to hold them in your tummy, my man. Stormkeeper coming out. Copyfin can't really do much about it. Does have a pre-wall ready. Unstoppable getting those big old zaps ready, but looks like he wants to hold on to one after Copyfin's wall is gone. Has still one more zap available, trying to get some healing surges up and running. Copy did not have an interrupt for it. Big Earthshock probably has one more zap available. Storm Sundering does get some CC on Unstoppable with a Hex on the Copy. Trinkets out of it with an interrupt Unstoppable. Trying to see if he can pressure the Elemental Shaman as the Ellie does get the Earth Elemental wall ready. Unstoppable probably has himself a nice setup with the Copy. Does he have the big lava burst? He does not, but the lasso does keep the Copyfin away. Copyfin, though, as Enhancement Shaman, got a lot of heals. This man got a lot of healing. Maelstrom healing is nuts right now for Enhancement. That does give you survivability. You kind of squishy. I'll agree. I agree with a lot of you. Enhancement Shamans are kind of squishy. But the heal is quite nutty. Taking out the Capacitor Totem before it lands a stun. Unstoppable forced to go for a wall here, as Copyfin still continuing to put pressure. No interrupt available for Copyfin for a bit. Stormkeeper coming back out. If Copyfin can line up maybe a proper grounding, does get a grounding rolling, and that's going to be Unstoppable. Taking that grounding out, does go for a big bolts onto Copy, goes in for Penetration. Next instant casts are going to be huge. Does go for a big Ascendance Lasso available. I think Unstoppable still has the Lava Burst Wombo combo. Does he? It looks like he doesn't. Getting away from those wind strikes as Copyfin goes for a bit of a port. Wind strikes flying out of those hands of an ascended shaman. Oh my god, the way he ran. But slowed, you ran big. Elemental blast onto Unstoppable. Looks like every time Copy gets some kind of a setup, Unstoppable just hits him with a slow and runs out. Just so tanky. Hands Shamans are so tanky. Gets a stun into Copy is going to be enough for him to catch up a little bit of heals. Copy just not allowed to stay in melee with the guy at all. Like for real. Just not allowed to stay in melee with him at all. Primordial Ball is out. Unstoppable might be able to get him some big zaps. Going to be that grounding for 2 of them out of the 3, which is pretty good. Copyfin was quick on the draw, and that's going to be the last to separate the 2. It's just Unstoppable has the slows onto Copy, just hits him with a slow. With those instant cast frost strikes, they can just keep firing off anytime he wants to. And then he hits him with a lasso, and then just separates away from him while in Ghost Wolf. Copy needs to stay in melee, but there's just almost nothing you can really do to just remove any kind of slows, unless he goes in for the one sprint ability that Enhancement Shamans have. Unstoppable having to wall his damage up a little bit as well. Does get hit with a Hex. As the Copy is just trying to see if he can wait up for some cooldowns and get Unstoppable in a better position. Maybe Copy is lagging a little bit. Maybe that's what's going on here. Because it did look a little funky. Unstoppable kind of low. Tricking for Copy. Might have Unstoppable here. Knockback comes out. Does have the zaps. And there goes the Frost Star. Copyfin taking out the Elemental Shaman. Didn't have the wombo combo one-shot on him or anything like that. But he had a nice setup either way. Christina up next. Walling this off as the bleeds are getting applied by the Feral. Big old bites and Copy is super happy he walled his damage. Hopefully no convokes later. And Copyfin does not have a trinket. So next setup Christina has with a bash could be deadly. Copy though still has plenty of self-heals going on, but so does Christina. Although finally he's in melee. Finally he's able to land this Maelstroms. Finally he can get this Elemental Blast. It looks like he's actually putting pressure onto Christina, forcing the Feral to wall this off and hit an Ursula Vortex onto Copy. He is going to get their Earth Elemental over there to at least start hitting Christina, not letting the Feral catch the reset at all. So unless he's playing Incarnation, he's not going to be able to do it. Needs to hit him with some kind of a slow somewhere or another. But looks like he's just trying to stay away, get those regrowth stun totem around the corner. Doesn't get Christina down just yet. Does go for the bash. Is that a convoke? Convoke coming out. Maybe someone will go into the Earth Alley. I think some of those did go into the Earth Alley. Big Sunder onto Christina. Has the Ghosts rolling. Thorns are up. As long as he can remove the Thorns, he'll be in a good spot. Does get to cleanse them off. And the Ghost Wolves are biting and doing work right now. They are definitely doing work over here. Trying to learn regrowths at 30% dampener. Should be able to catch himself a lot of heals either way. That's going to be a free regrowths available. Copy just needs to get himself lined inside of Christina. Hit him with a slow somehow. Has the grounding totem on the other side. And Christina has power shifting available. Not a lot of mana available for Christina right now though. Needs a bit of that mana recovery. That's going to be yet another slow into Christina. Still waiting this out. Ursula's going to catch Copyfin out in the slow. And not much you can really do in this situation. Maybe Copy has a setup now. Finally, Christina wants to go in for damage. Has a trinket if necessary ever. Into a Panda-racial. Copyfin just goes for a bit of a reset. And Christina looking to land himself a cycle onto Copy. Maybe thinking he might be able to get a trinket out of him. Or maybe just going for a full-blown reset. This is where Copy should be a little bit sketched out. Because it is Christina getting a full reset here. Could go for the eyes to find Christina. Might not be a bad move. Keep the duel going. Should be able to maybe hit him. Looks like Christina was already mid-air getting that opener. And Copy does have a wall for this. Probably should go for a wall if Christina especially goes for Big Damie. Trying to drop down Capacitor Totem. Christina is not going to hit by just walking out of there with a Feral mobility. Is going to have to bar skin this. Christina does go for a little bit of a self-heal. But maybe this is where Copyfin could turn it around. Barskin almost over. Christina won't really have much about it. Trinket. What are you going to trinket really? It's not really a big defense. A big ascent is coming out for Copy. Christina is actually a little bit afraid. Big Shade Harvest and Copyfin taking him out. Yeah, I told you. Probably should be just a little bit afraid. Fury Warrior Trados up next. Trying to make the big damage happen. Playing the Siegebreaker against Copy. Who is going to wall this off. Trying to get himself some Maelstrom with self-heals rolling as well. Big leap for Trados, and Copy is going to get hit with a fear. As Trados just looking to catch up with Copy finally. 24% dampener. I believe the Maelstrom healing is still pretty good. I think that should still be pretty good, especially with Ghost Wolves up and running for Copy. Has plenty of mana. Can go aggressively with Trados too. Plenty of Maelstrom in order to go for big zaps for damage, but also for self-heals once in a blue moon. Stun onto Copy. Trados trying to see if he might be able to get Copy low, but looks like Trados isn't an execute range to Copy. Just gets a one final melee off him. with Kedem going to be up next. Getting the binding shot, has the double tap ready to go, resonating arrow. Not much you can really do. Copy, actually lands a stun. Wait, Copy's actually monstrous. He got that stun as the double tap aim rapid fire was about to come out. He actually stopped the burst from the hunter. Wait, Copy's actually nuts. Copy's actually insane. That capacity totem, even I didn't see it around the corner. What the hell? That was so good. If Copy could just survive the, maybe get Kedem down before the next setup with a burst, before the next resonating arrow double tap wombo combo, he might be okay. He might actually be okay. It's going to be aim shot. That thing is definitely going to hurt, but he does get himself a heal. Copy's health is just not looking that good. They'll try to doorway shadows next to Kedem. That's going to be, oh, disengage coming out, but does get stopped for a second. Copy doesn't sit that scatter shot long. Doesn't really have a lot of health. Needs to maybe turn their attention to the pet. The pet can give you free Maelstrom. If only he was Earth Shield or Lightning Shield, that would give him Maelstrom every few seconds he gets hit. But Copy is still not out of the fight. Does get a Flame Shock onto Kedem. Does get hit with a binding shot. Could be the resonating arrow. Not much you can really do in this situation. Is sitting Ghostos, might have to go for a self-heal. Healing Center's coming out. Kedem does get the final shot of aim shot, probably with a kill shot combo in there. Gets him pretty low and does take him out. That is super unfortunate. I feel like the only way Copy could have done something is maybe not get rooted by binding shot, just stand there next to binding shot, jump and throw down a stun totem next to Kedem. To at least kind of disrupt his globals a little. I think that's all you could really do. If only he was a shaman, if only Enhancement Shamans had Spirit Walker's Grace, because then you could use Spirit Walker's Grace, jump up, start a cast of Hex, and then make sure to jump back up before the Hex is finished to get a Hex on the Kedem. Looks at Jellyfy getting open onto Kedem. Into a bite out of that, trinketed into a scatter shot and rapid fire ready. Kedem does see himself the big one-shot wombo combo. Looks like he does himself quite a lot of health recovery. Being a Kyrian, he does go for the Kyrian ability, the Kyrian potion, that does heal you for a ton, but heal you over time. At 39% dampening, it does look very effective. Does have the double tap ready. Resonating shot, it looks like Resonant Arrow does go into Jellyfy, has massive rapid fire ready with an explosive shot into a maim, trinkets out of that maim. Jellyfy is still super low, does have a little bit of health recovery, but a 40% dampening, not much you can really do. Super low on health, kill shot, rivers, interrupt the convoke into a scatter shot, aim shot, and kill shot probably should do it. And does get the pod. It needs to take down the pod real quickly. I don't think it should be an issue for Marksman Hunter. There he goes. Pretty easy done. And Belly is going to be up next as an arms where it can. Kedem actually go through the rest of the team. Only Belly and Lex left. Belly going in for big damage into a freezing trap. Decides to trinket it. Leaping on top of Kedem. Does he go for the Night Fae ability? As he went for the Warbreaker. He does get knocked back. Trying to see if he maybe Night Fae over to Kedem. It looks like does have a reflect available. Rapid fire aim shots are going to take him out. There, Kedem just kited him out. Got a little bit of burst there. Down he goes. Legs going in for almost a... Oh, I think it was starting to go for a slash wave. Kedem hit him with a 100's mark just so the guy doesn't get an invis at all. As Kedem is a little bit behind. With the fire mage, big combustion ready at any time. This is going to be in a really good spot. Lex mounting up. I guess he's not even going to go for the eyes. He's just like, you know, I'll just let Kedem open up on me. Big aim shot in the opener. Burns through all those shields at 47% dampener, so the shields are going to be less effective. Kedem does himself double tap ready. Resonant arrow doesn't hit. Lex, it looks like rapid fire does hit. Lots of damage. Does have the ult time though. That's going to be interrupt onto the poly. I guess you can poly him over the pet. Lex not in a great spot. Actually, cauterize procking out. Could be an ice block here. Could be an ice block. Does try to go for food immediately. And Invis doesn't sit long at all. Kedem just needs to give himself this one setup. One tiniest setup. Maybe just a jump shot and he'll be good. Or maybe he just needs to go for another binding shot into resonating. He still has to deal with an ice block. So Lex still has big offensives ready. So maybe Kedem doesn't just win this by default just yet. A rapid fire onto Lex with an explosive shot. Gets a super low. Polymorph onto Kedem. Does have a trinket. And it's going to try to see if he can remove any buzz from Lex. I think he was expecting maybe a combustion. Hoping to maybe go for a trank shot to remove it. Lex does catch up on quite a lot of health. At 54% dampening with that ice block. That is really good for him. Kedem does have a double tap. Does have the resonant arrow. Does have the range with that rapid fire. A lot of the damage is going to go through. Lex does have himself a little bit of a reset of health bar with the all-the-time combustion coming in for Lex, but looks like Kedem does take it back. How many kills is that, Kedem? Kedem needs a 4. 4. That is pretty good. Copyfin came in, blasted it pretty hard though. He actually had to play pretty hard against the Unstoppable, who had more healing than damage. Interesting. Interesting. But he did it, boys. He came into the duel and brought it back for his team. At high dampening when no one can really catch up. That is pretty good from Marksman Hunter though. He really had a good setup.